Hi guys, today I'm going to go through from the beginning to the end how I book a trip and how I do it affordably. Someone was requested that they're possibly going to St. Thomas in April, and I figured that would be a good baseline. It's not going to be exact, of course. Every location's going to be different, but I'm going to also be there tomorrow, so I figured how perfect is that? So I'm going to go from the beginning to the end of how I book a trip. All right, let's start by looking for flights. I usually use Kiwi, Kiwi, and I use them as a search engine. I was searching April 1st through April 30th from Detroit because that's where I live to St. Thomas. You can search one way. That's what I prefer when I'm looking at prices. This is in euro. Please note that because they are from the UK, but I did do it for the whole month to see when the cheapest dates are to go. So here it shows April 20th for $165 one way. It is Spirit. A lot of people will not fly Spirit. I fly Spirit all the time. I don't have luggage. Again, it's a personal preference, okay? But you can sort it. You can look for the fastest, the most expensive, the most affordable. And here it shows you that there's a pretty big price difference. So typically I'll book the cheapest thing, and then you can go back. So 165 euro. Again, I will not book on the site unless there's a huge price difference. I'll usually go direct to the airline website. So here I switched it from St. Thomas back to Detroit. Same thing, April 1st through the 30th. And so it's going to give me the lowest date going home. It looks like, on an average, most of the flights are about the same price. Again, it's going to be preference of what airline and if it includes luggage or not, etc. So, again, not super unaffordable, not really my budget, but St. Thomas is a very expensive place to travel. It is not on my cheapest traveling type places. But again, you can also sort it again to pick, the fastest route. Again, preference. So this was United that had the fastest route, but it's double the price. So now getting into booking a place to stay. I typically use booking.com. And as you can see here, I'm putting in St. Thomas. I put April 12th through the 19th because I don't have a specific date. So up at the top, I'm going to filter it because St. Thomas is very expensive, and I'm going to slide that bar to my budget. Here I put $1,500 for a week. I probably wouldn't pay that, but I'm doing this for you guys so you can see the different types of items within reason. So again, the first one here shows $655 for the week. It is an apartment. A 2-bedroom apartment. Doesn't look fancy by any means. Probably somewhere I would definitely stay. Again, this is probably only accessible by car. This isn't something that you're going to be right downtown or anything. So again, this is if you're renting a car and you're staying on land. This seems to be actually the same listing at a different price. So again, the pictures are the same, so I'm not really sure. So again, compare, make sure that you're looking at could be 2 different homes that are right next to each other, not sure. Also look at the reviews, make sure that everything seems kosher. Here's one that's a little bit more, but it has a pool and a view. So again, this is preference. How much money do you have? Do you only go on vacation once a year? You might want to splurge. That's fine. Just not how I typically travel. But, this is definitely a nicer place for a pretty decent price for the week. And again, probably accessible only by car. So, and here's another option. It's kind of right in the middle, under $900 for the week. It has good reviews. It makes it look like it has a view, but that's a view of Paradise Point, so they just threw that in there. But again, just check the reviews, make sure that everything's kosher and people aren't complaining about, bed bugs or something, that you don't want when you're staying somewhere. All right, let's get into how I book my excursions. Get Your Guide is one of my favorite go-tos. Again, I put in St. Thomas. I didn't put in a date. And I'm just going to scroll through and just look at the different places. I've been to most of these. I've done most of these tours. Again, compare. I also use Viator, so compare with Viator as well. I like Get Your Guide because you can cancel usually within 24 hours, but please read because it definitely differs. But again, some of these you have to meet at hotels. They'll pick you up. They're not going to pick you up at the top of the mountain, so you got to decide. So that's how I book a trip from the beginning to the end. Of course, I'm picking budget friendly. You can pick luxury. I really hope this helps, and I would appreciate if you would share and like and comment. Tell me if there's somewhere you want me to show you how to book for a reasonable rate. All right, well, bye for now. Thanks for watching.